Hare struck down by the hail, the stone fell, and the hunted hurled themselves at her. This dreadful eruption from an unknown world made her frantic. She quaked and backed, and the air was full of sweat and noise and blood and terror. Roger ran round the heap, brooding with his spear whenever a big flash appeared. Jack was on top of the cell, stepping downward with his knife. Roger found a lodgment for his point and began to push till he was leaning with his whole weight. The spear moved forward inch by inch, and the terrified, squealing because a hatchet scream. Then Jack found the trough, and the hot blood spouted over his hand. The snow collected under them, and the were heavy and fluffy upon her. The butterfly still danced broke speed in the center of the clearing. At least the immediate of the kill supposed the boy drew back, and Jack stood up, holding out his hands. "Look!" He giggled and flicked them while the boy laughed at his recondyle. Then Jack grabbed Miracle and dropped the staff over his kick. Roger began to withdraw his spray, and the boy not said for the first time. Robert stabilized the thing in a phrase which was received effortlessly right up here as Did you hear what he said? Right up here as this time Robert and Miracle acted the two part, and Miracle acting of the big effort to avoid the advancing spear was so funny that the boy cried with laughter. At length even they spilled. Jack began to clean his blood hand on the rock. Then he started work on the saw and punch her, lugging out the hot bag of colored gas, pushing them into a bale on the rock while the other watched him. He told as he worked, "We will take the mic along the beach. I will go back to the platform and invite them of a feast that shall give you time." Roger spoke. "Chef, how can we make a fire?" Jack squatted back and forward at the big. "We will read them and take fire. There must be four of you, Henry and you, Robert and Miracle. We will put on paint and sneak up. Roger can snatch a branch while I see what I want. The rest of you can get this back to where we will build the fire tree, and after that..." He paused and stood up, looking at the shadow under the tree. His voice was lower when he spoke again. "But we will never part of the kill." For he knelt down again and was busy with this knife. The boy crowded round him. He spoke over his shoulder to Roger, sharper a stick at both ends. Presently he stood up, holding the dropping saw head in his hand. "Where is that stick?" Here, ram one end in the earth on its rock, jam into that crack. There. Jack held up the head and jammed the soft straw down on the pointed end of the stick, which peered trough into the mountain. He stood back, and he had hung there, a little blood dribbling down the stick. Instinctively the boy drew back too, and the forest was very still. The least and the loudest noise was the biggie of flies over the spilled gates. Jack spoke in a whisper, "Pick up the big miracle," and Robert scoured the corridor, lifted the dead white, and stood ready in the silence, and standing over the dry blood, they looked suddenly furtive. Jack spoke loudly. "This head is for the best. It's a gift." The silence accepted the gift and await them. The head remained there, dim-eyed, green, faintly blood-black mink between the bit. All at once they were running away as fast as they could through the forest toward the open beach. Simon stayed where he was, a small brown image concealed by the leaf. Even if he shut his eyes, the head still remained like an after-image. The half-shut eyes were diamond with the infinity science-man of old life. They assured Simon that everything was a bad business. I know that. Simon discovered that he had spoken aloud. He opened his eyes quickly, and there was his head, gleaming acidly in the starting daylight, ignoring the flies, the spilled gates, even ignoring the indignity of being speak on a stick. He looked away, licking his dry lips. A gift for the best might not the best come for it. The head he thought appeared to agree with him. "Run away," said the head silently. "Go back to the other." It was a joke. "Really, why should you put? You were just wrong, that's all. A little headshot, something you ate, perhaps." "Go back, child," said the head silently. Simon looked up, feeling the weight of his wet hair, and gazed at the sky. Up there for once were clouds, great bilging towers that sprawled away over the island, grey and cream and copper-colored. The clouds were sitting on the land, the squeezed product moment by moment. These clouds Tormino had even he butterfly desert, the open space where the obscured thing groaned and dripped. Simon lowered his head, carefully keeping his eyes shut, then sheltered them with his hand. There were no shadows under the tree, but everywhere a purely stillness, so that what was really seemed elusive and without dignity. The bell of God was a black blob of files that buzzed like a saw. After a while, these flies found Simon corruged, delighted by his romance of sweet and drunk. They tickled under his nostril and played leapfrog on his tightly. They were black and erudition, green and without number, and in front of Simon the Lord of the Fleas hung on his stick and grimaced. At last Simon gave up and looked back, saw the wet that and them eyes, the blood, and his gaze was held by that ancient and scarable recognize in Simon right temple. A police began to pet on the Brian, laugh and begin lie in the sand, gazing at the fire, and idly flackly people into its smokeless heart. That branch is gone. Where is Samurica? How off to get some more wood? We are out of green branch. Relaf sighed and stood up. There were no shadow under the palm on the platform, only this strange light that seemed to come from everywhere at once. High up among the billowing clouds, thunder went off like again. We are going to get buckets of run. What about the fire? Laughed, rooted into the forest, and returned with a wet spray of green which he dumped on the fire. The branch crackled, the leaves crackled, and the yellow smoke expanded. Biggie made an animal's little pattern in the sand with his finger. Trouble is, we haven't got enough people for a fire. You got to try someone as one children. They do everything together. Of course, well, that isn't fair, don't you see? They have to do to children. Relaf considering this and understood he was very vexed to find how little he tough like a ground up and said again. The island was getting worse and worse. Biggie looked at the fire. You will want another green branch soon. Relaf rolled over. Biggie, what are we going to do? Just have to get on without him. But the fire he forward at the black and the white mist in which lay the umbrella end of branch. He turned of formula. I'm scared. He was Biggie. Look up and plunder on. Not of the best, I mean. I am scared of that too. But nobody else understand about the fire. If someone try you a rope when you were drawing, if a doctor said take this because if you don't take it you will die. You would, wouldn't you? I mean, chorus, I would. Can't they say, can't they understand? Without the smoke single will they hear? Look at that. A wave of heated air trembled above the ashes, but without a track of smoke. We can't speak on fire going and they don't care. And what more? He looked intensely into Biggie's streaming face. What's more, sometimes suppose they got like the other, not carrying what would because what of use.